once you have it all mixed up, and it just looks like regular Mod Podge. It does have a stronger smell, not gonna lie. So that's a little but it happens. It's dishwasher safe, so I'm sure it probably has to have more chemicals in there to make it dishwasher safe, hence the worst smell. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pour this onto the plate. And then you're just gonna coat the plate all over, making sure to get all the way down to the edges. If you get over the edge, it's fine. That's not a problem, because as long as it's still wet, you can actually clean it off with soap and water. So don't freak out. This is the reason why I put down the actual paper, in case there is any excess that comes off and it drips down, it doesn't get all over everything. So, and as you can see, it just kind of helps to having something up underneath it to support it, so that way you can actually get all to it, different things like that. It's not sticking to whatever you have covering your countertop or table or what may have you. So just make sure you get it all on there good and coated. Try not to have it too uneven for the coats. Like you can see how some areas look a lot heavier than others. It kind of messes up with the drying time, truthfully, and I've noticed that you can actually see it through the fabric. So just try to make it as even as possible, just so that way when you're looking at it, that doesn't catch your eye on the pretty side for where there was too much fabric or too much paint and not enough. All right. So we got all of our edges good. Now we're gonna take our fabric. Okay, and I've determined one of these pieces of fabric that's rolled up like this that I was showing you earlier from Walmart, you could essentially get 2 plates out of this if you do it correctly. Now, if there's a certain print on here that you're wanting to have it in the center, you may not be able to get 2 actual plates out of it. It just depends on where that image lies on here. But since this is just kind of the same, we're just gonna simply lie it over the plate. So you're just gonna kind of lay it over and then press it down. You wanna make sure that you smooth out all the wrinkles. And also, this is another reason why that kind of base helps. It also kind of lets that fabric just kind of drape down. And it's kind of like giving you an extra set of hands. So just kind of smooth that over, pressing down, kind of stretching it out. All the way over. This is also a good place to see, once we cut off the excess, it's a good way to actually see if you need more glue actually on the edge of your plate. So this is where the big scissors come in handy. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and use your little scissors, but I just like to use those for the more up close and like really trying to get in there and make it neat and clean and crisp. you know, right now we're just trying to cut off the excess so that way we don't have all this goop just like in our way. But either way is fine. Just keep in mind, you can always cut away, you can't add back. So try not to cut too much. That's another reason why I like to kind of keep those small scissors right there, because that's just it makes life so much easier to kind of just tidy up your plate. If you don't have a small pair of scissors, no big thing. Just use your regular house scissors. Make sure just to go ahead and clean them after you do cut them with some soap and water while the glue's still kind of wet. Because otherwise you're gonna glue your scissors together. And that wouldn't be good, especially if they're a good pair of scissors. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of cut around and put the excess to the side. So, like I said, this is a good way to see where, if it's sticking, if you need to put some extra glue on the edge or not. So, right here, it looks like we just need a little bit more. So what we're gonna do is just kind of get your sponge. It still should have some more left on there. Press it down. Like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm going around the actual edge of the plate, okay, with my fingertip. And just, because I don't want the fabric to go on the physical plate itself, like on the part where you would put food. So I'm just going around, and not only that, and just kind of going along the side. If you use your ring finger, it's the least amount of pressure out of all of your fingers. So it's not only getting kind of the excess glue off of your plate, it's just kind of lifting it off of that side so that way it's not going all the way over. Now here is where you will take your tiny scissors and just kind of trim. But just be careful when you do have your sewing scissors out, because if they're anything like mine, they are extremely sharp. And I can't tell you how many times I've actually cut myself on these things. Too many times that I would like to admit, that's for sure. So if you just go around, this is kind of the tedious part of it, but it's well worth it, I do promise. And not only that, everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's adorable, where did you get it? And you'd be like, I made this. These foam brushes, I found a pack of 6 at the Dollar Tree. So you could essentially get rubbing alcohol from the Dollar Tree, the plate, the fabric, the brushes, and the glue, cotton swabs. So you have plate, fabric, glue, cotton swabs, foam brush, $5 right there for a personalized cute gift. And these rolls at Walmart, they were $1.97. So while you're out on Sunday, get after church or what may have you, Saturday, Sunday, whenever you do your grocery shopping, run over to the yarn or the craft department. They have yarn over there too. To the fabric department at Walmart and go ahead and pick you up just a cute little thing of fabric for $1. Now that you have it down, you have it secured, you kind of trimmed off the excess, different things like that, Make sure it looks good. There's just a little bit of trimming that needs right here. Just kind of make it even. Yes, these are the cutest little things you can make if you make cookies for your neighbors or relatives or anything like that, or if you just want something cute to set out, to put some cookies on there for Santa or anything like that. How adorable. And so easy. All right, so now what we're gonna do is, now that we have this all down, just kind of brush it off with your hand. Any kind of loose little fibers from cutting, what may have you, just kind of brush them off. This also gives you another chance to kind of go through there, really smooth out any kind of wrinkles, make sure everything's very secure, different things like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pour a little bit more of this Mod Podge on here. Just the same, whichever one you're using, the regular or the dishwasher safe. Kind of wipe the excess off with your brush. And just kind of make sure you do even coats all over. And you'll notice your brush too, it will soak up a lot of this glue. Feel free to use it. Just kind of smush it. You see how it's all coming out right there? There's no sense in wasting it. And this is also another good chance to just kind of go through and really touch up those edges. Make sure that they're fully secure down onto the plate. And if you get some on the bottom side, like I said, it's no big thing. As long as it's still wet, you can wash it off with soap and water. So just get you a wet paper towel or your finger, what may have you, whichever is easiest, and just wipe it down. I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest crafts I think I have done in a long time. And it's so fun, and there's so many different possibilities you could do. Okay, now this is where your plastic wrap is gonna come in handy, because you don't wanna have to wash out these brushes, and even though it is 6 of them for $1, there's no sense in throwing it away, you know, it's still good. And plus we're gonna have to do another 2 coats on this thing anyways, so go ahead, and I'm just getting any kind of excess I see off of here. Alright, just go ahead and place your brush in there, wrap it over, and just kind of fold it just loosely, like that. If you want, just kind of take your fingers, go ahead and go around the edges like this. Just kind of get any of that excess off. I'm going to let this dry for an hour and then come back, do another coat, and show you the finished product. So we are back, and the plate has fully dried now. So what I did is I went ahead and I put on that second coat. I rolled out the glue again and mixed it per the instructions. Put another coat on here and let that dry. Now that it's, you know, it's dry to the touch, I would still kind of leave it like this, but you can touch it. It's not tacky or anything like that. But once you pull it up from that tape, and then you can see the finished product. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope every one of you have a wonderful and happy rest of your day.